Waiting to go live, waiting to go live. I wanna go live. When am I gonna go live? When am I gonna go live? When am I gonna go live? Ooh, I might be live now. Waiting to... Hey, hi. My name is Humberto Castañeda, and it's way past your Barreto time. Tonight I want to do a little reaction video to the SpaceX crew. It's a short video they posted. It's about 7 minutes long, and I think it's so awesome. I wanted to talk about it a little bit, so I'm going to do that. Here we go.
Well, everyone, welcome aboard Dragon. My name is Doug. Next to me is Bob. You probably know him. We're so glad to be with you this evening and welcome you on board Dragon.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming us. I gotta say, I'm so excited about this. There's a lot of people, I think, that are cynical about space exploration. I've been one of those previously. I think because, you know, it's a hard thing. Humans are not designed for space. It's pretty unlikely humans will live outside of Earth, to be honest. At the same time, though, what are we supposed to do? Just like kick it around, killing minorities and killing each other and like destroying the planet? This to me represents the best of the universe. The best. It's we look at the universe in the face and we say, yep, yes, and, instead of like, no, but. And, you know, anyone who doesn't believe in this, like, oh, we never landed on the moon, or this is not real, it's all whatever, the Earth is flat, I feel sad. I feel sad because, like, especially if you're watching this on YouTube and you don't realize, like, the amount of human progress and ingenuity and luck and hard work that it took for us to get to a point where you could have been watching something where electromagnetic waves could have traveled to your little device that was assembled mostly now by robotic arms, impossibly small components, so you could watch these people, these humans, and then you could, like, you know, say that it's all fake and it's all conspiracy. It's sad. So I'm so glad that this is happening. It makes me really happy.
Got a couple things we want to talk about first before we kind of show you around. The first is kind of a tradition we've had over the years with spacecraft going way back to the Mercury era. And then a tradition that's been carried on ever since with all our space vehicles, including the Soyuz. We're given the honor to name.
Hey, I think my friend Kirk might have just said something. Robotic arm, small humans, fake sadness. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Here, how can I sign in? Why can't I sign in? I might have to sign into chat. I've never actually had to sign into chat. That's weird. Why can't I just chat here in the window? Hello. Is this Kirk? Weird. I didn't think anyone would be watching. But, yeah, let me go back to the... Oh, shoot, I lost my video. There we go. He says, robotic arms, small humans, fake sadness.
This capsule. I know most of you at SpaceX especially know it as Capsule 206, but I think all of us thought that we could maybe do a little bit better than that. So without further ado, we would like to welcome you aboard Capsule Endeavour.
So I was hoping they would like crack some champagne, because like, isn't that what you do when you name a ship? You crack some champagne on the hull. But I'm assuming that if you crack champagne inside of a cabin, it could be quite dangerous. But they could add, like, you know, those the fake ones they use in movies that are not really glass. And, you know, when Jackie Chan breaks bottles on your head and stuff like this, That's not real glass. They could have had that prepared, right? Like, I christen thee Endeavor. Psh, ah, my eye. We got to go back to Earth. Fine. Maybe it was a bad idea, but it would have been cool.
We chose Endeavor for a few reasons. One, because of this incredible Endeavor NASA, SpaceX,
Of course.
and the United States has been on since the end of the shuttle program back in 2011. The other reason we named it Endeavor is a little more personal to Bob and I. We both had our first flights on Shuttle Endeavor, and it just meant so much to us to carry on that name. That's what we decided to go with. So we hope you enjoy that name, and once again, welcome on board.
This is amazing because, like, when was Endeavor? I thought Endeavor was a long time ago, but these folk were on it. So these are experienced astronauts. The training, the amount of training and knowledge that it must take to be one of these individuals, because I think you gotta know enough that you could survive on Mars when stuff goes south, like Matt Damon. So these people have to be like Matt Damon level, which is pretty cool.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome aboard Endeavor, the SpaceX vehicle headed to the International Space Station. Today, we accomplished the first flight off the Florida coast in quite some time, and Doug and I were really proud to have an opportunity to be a part of that. We're doing it in a brand new spaceship, a spaceship that's a lot different than its namesake Endeavor, the space shuttle, in that it has touch display screens that allow us to accomplish most of the interfacing requirements that we have. We'll have
Okay, this is both happy and sad for me. On the one hand, it's great that they now have touch displays. But honestly, my bubble keeps getting popped constantly by the realization that what I thought was the advanced technology that NASA and the government must have and all these kinds of things, it was all an illusion, right? Because, like, I thought that, I always thought as a kid that whatever we were seeing was, decades behind what they actually had in terms of technology. So if we were seeing like the little space shuttle going up, like, yeah, well, that's what they show us, but, I bet you they have stuff that you can't even see that travels at light speed or whatever. So they just, they're like, oh, we have touch screens. I'm like, I hope you have touch screens. Like, well, how long have we had touch screens? But I'm glad they have touch screens. The second thing is, man, that looks claustrophobic. Or that looks like it would make me claustrophobic. Not only are you not on Earth, so, this is how I feel. I feel the same way, by the way, about some, like, the going underwater, like the 20,000 Leagues Under, like these things that James Cameron goes in, these, the bathyspheres, whatever, like these things that, they withstand all the pressure of the bottom of the ocean. And that's great. You couldn't catch me alive or dead in one of those, because just like that thought that you are so disconnected, you might as well be on the moon, right? Same thing with the top of Everest, but this is kind of worse. Like when you're at the top of Everest, certainly you have no oxygen. It's pretty bad. You're probably going to die. But when you're at the bottom of the ocean, so many things could go wrong, and it's an instant mess, right? This is worse. Like you're not even on Earth. You're outside the atmosphere. And then on top of everything, you're pressed up like this to a touch screen. Like, what if your nose touches it? Like, that could be really bad.
If Doug pans over and points at the display in front of me, you can see the forward view that we had during the maneuvers that we most recently did. You can look out the window. It looks like the centerline camera doesn't have a lot of content on it now. We're kind of pointed into space. So
another nitpick. Why is everything blue? Like, what? I get it. We're in space. Space looks blue to us when we're on Earth, but why is all the UI blue? Everything is so blue. There must be some reason. But like, I thought blue lights like don't help you sleep well. So do these people suffer from insomnia while they're up there? I just wish they had a little more color. I see a little green, white, but mostly it's blue. It's making me a little sad, to be honest.
The windows can see the earth below us, but we've got the capability to interface with the vehicle, and it's kind of interesting. There's a command. This little button over here is actually what the commands are for our displays. One thing that does get lost is there is a extensive button panel down below as well. So over on this side, we can turn the displays on and off, as well as send some commands for some contingency situations.
I wonder if they still fight over the temperature control. Like the one guy on the one side sets it to a little too hot, and they're like, dude, it's small enough already. Can we just agree on a temperature?
On the other side, we have the ability to deploy chutes and things like that on entry. So we do have some buttons, but the primary interface is these displays. So nice, new, modern cockpit that we've got for our compared to our namesake, the Space Shuttle Endeavour.
I'm a little disappointed that I don't see like the missile button or the laser button or the, like any sort of defensive thing. Like, what if, I'm not saying that they exist, but what if the aliens did show up? What are we going to do? Like nothing? Just like, hey, we got no weapons. We didn't think you guys were coming. Like even just a little laser would have gone a long way.
I'm going to migrate a little bit away from our seats here, and Doug from his seat is going to continue to try to follow me so you can tell what can be seen from the seat that he sits in. So from his seat, when he is in the vehicle, strapped in, this is what his view actually looks like. You can see a window off to the one side. We each have a window that we can view out and see what's going on outside. That was exciting on ascent for us to be able to see the arm rotate away from the pad, and that's when we both, I think, knew that we were...
All right, that's cool. That's cool. But I do wonder, like here they have a lot more room. It's obviously still cozy. But couldn't they like... I mean, I'm like the jerk pointing out bugs in this. Come on. This is amazing. I'm just saying, like, couldn't they have had the computer interface sort of in a more comfortable place? But I'm sure this is actually better because they get to, like, it looks like they're upright, so they don't have to sit the whole time. Who knows? I'm sure they thought this through. It just looked a little uncomfortable, like a little close, I wonder if they'd be like, just half a foot further from my face. Plus, that's a lot of... like radiation on your face. Why am I kidding? They're getting so much radiation on this trip.
Going to launch today, so that was super cool. I've got one on my side as well. The hatch that we came in is the hatch that's right behind me. It is a little bit of a tight quarters, but I'm going to try to demonstrate some of the capability that we have now that we're in zero gravity. So I think I was requested to do a backflip. I'm going to kind of do a side spin, which is a little bit of a permutation on that request. So hopefully you can see what it's like to actually float in zero gravity. And Doug and I are super excited that we got the...
Can you imagine kids in this situation? Kids would just be like constantly spinning and flipping upside down. And it's funny that, they're like, okay, I'll do one side spin for y'all. But but if you had like a 10-year-old there, it would be like, and the consequences of such amount of spinning, which I don't even want to think about.
The opportunity to do this again today, even before the end of May. So that was super cool. We did, it turns out, end up with one stowaway on board our vehicle when we launched today. It was not just Doug and I who accomplished the launch here. We do have an Apatosaurus aboard. We both have two boys who are super interested in dinosaurs. And we collected up all the dinosaurs between the two houses, and Trimmer, the Apatosaurus, got the vote from the boys to make the trip into space today with us. And so that was a super cool thing for us to get a chance to do for both of our sons, who I hope are super excited to see.
That is like the coolest touch. When I was a kid, I was into absolutely space and dinosaurs. So, the two things I wanted to really do was... like space, like be an astronaut or work with space and dinosaurs. Like, I don't know if I thought they were going to come back or something. I definitely wanted to know everything about dinosaurs and everything about space. Those were my two favorite things. I had these books. I had one book that was like the history of the universe. Basically, it started with the Big Bang, and then it showed a few things. It showed the solar system being created, and it showed like the progress of the Earth, and gaining water and all these kinds of things. And then I had this other book that was dinosaurs, and actually I had several dinosaur books. So that was my library, other than Golden Age or the all the with the scholastic books and stuff like that. Dinosaurs and space. So this really warms my heart.
They're totally floating around with us on board. I'm sure they would rather be here given the opportunity, but hopefully they're proud of this as well.
Silence. In space, no one can hear you. Switch.
Okay, as we work our way towards one of the windows, unfortunately, it's getting a little bit dark, but I don't know.
How convenient. We would have shown you around the globe, but it's getting too dark. Oh, yes, we've heard this before. How convenient.
Bob can pan over here. We just passed off of the coast of Newfoundland, and we're headed over to over the Atlantic right now. I don't know if you can get a good picture of that.
Oh, whoops. You only see a reflection of us? Oh, man. Sucks, because I'm just kidding. Like, this is too bad, though. They can figure this out. You can have a camera on the outside. Just show us that feed. I'm sure they can see some really cool lights. Or turn off the lights inside. Turn off the lights.
Anyway, hopefully you enjoy that view as we pass over the Atlantic. And I think with that, we will work ourselves back into the seats and wrap things up for the...
Oh, they just gave like 10 more years worth of conspiracies to these nuts. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. That was a golden opportunity.
This evening.
So Doug's there making a nice big smile for the camera. I hope you enjoyed the trip today with us on board the Dragon capsule Endeavour with our friend Trimmer, the Apatosaurus, and Doug and I. We just would like to thank SpaceX, we'd like to thank NASA, and we'd like to thank the American people for the opportunity today. And we're really proud of the entire team that was able to accomplish human spaceflight again from the Florida coast. Just a wonderful experience. Doug and I are just so proud to be a part of it, and just want to thank everybody who gave us this opportunity and worked so hard to make this happen today.
That's great. Again, I think this is some of the best stuff that humans can do, There's not much we can do. We are here. We live on this planet. We wake up, you shake your head, you eat some food, maybe have some coffee. Then if you've been really doing a great job at whatever it is you do, great. Hopefully you do stuff that helps others, that makes the world a better place. But we still just live our lives, and then, time goes on, and we're sort of irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. There isn't even really a grand scheme of things that we can tell. But if there is, or if there's anything meaningful to our context, man, this is the tip of the spear. Stuff like this. Like we're pushing the boundaries. We're getting out there. We're trying, man. We're trying to survive. We're trying to let consciousness and intelligence thrive in the universe. And I just wish there was a lot more of this. Respect for science, respect for learning, respect for being intelligent and accomplishing and building and creating, rather than respecting ancient feelings about your little piece of land or the color of your skin, or this is what we should be focusing on.
So with that, I think it'll be good night from Capsule Endeavour. Good night to everyone at NASA, at SpaceX, and the United States, and congratulations to the teams that got us into orbit. And we're looking forward to seeing Chris Cassidy and his Russian colleagues on board the International Space Station tomorrow morning.
Yay! Goodbye.
Good night, Megan and Theo.
That's
And
not my
Karen
name.
and Jack.
That's not my name either, but good night. That was really awesome. I hope everything goes well for them and for their mission. And I hope we keep having more of this. I also hope a lot of things go better for us right now. But this helps me feel better about humans and about life. So I hope you all enjoyed it. That's it. I will now end the session, and I'll wait a little longer because every time I think it's ended, it like cuts it off short. So I'm gonna like hum for a little bit. Hum, hum, singing a song, waiting for things to die down. That way, if it cuts me off, it's in a weird humming or singing place and not in the middle.